how do you do there? This is Mike McGee, your Blu-ray and DVD movie reviewer, and I'm here to review. Oh, where's my glasses? Oh, here. I'm here to review Charlie Victor Romero. Yes, about airplane accidents shot in native 3D. Let's open it up. And here's the front cover. And here's the back. And it comes with the 3D glasses for the anaglyph version and the book that explains things. And it comes with a Blu-ray version, and the anaglyph version, and it comes with two fronts that you can choose. And I choose this side. And we'll read shortly before I analyze the review. There was something that was supposed to come in the mail, and I wanted to do it as part of the review, but it may come tomorrow or the next day. The mail mistracking or something. Okay, now it reads, when you board an airplane, who are those people in the uniforms to whom you entrust for your life? What do they say, really do, when things go horribly wrong? Derive entirely from the cockpit voice of transcripts of 6 major airline incidences and accidents. Charlie Victor Romero puts the audience inside of the tension-filled actual flights in distress, offering a fascinating portrait of psychology of the crisis, and persons will live off the last second. Will have to live to the last second, excuse me. And it says special feature limit 2-disc anaglyph film and 2D 3D film. Co-director commentary Patrick Daniels, Robert Berger, they're the actors in it. Captain Al Hayes' presentation of the NASA Dresden. CBR Scene 5 from the JAL 123 Live. PSI 22, CBR Scene from JAL 125 Live from Rico Gun Theater Company. PBS News, cockpit drama and medical mistakes. Teasers 1 or 2, incident booklet and 3D glide. I already mentioned that. And now here's it shows the what's in the airplane. Now, what I'll do is, in a few minutes, I will discuss to you of this movie. Now, this unconventional movie is based on an unconventional play that was created by a troupe of actors in New York City in an experimental improvisation and minimal type theater. And when the 2 actors decided to go to a bookstore, and one of them found a book on airplane accidents based on transcript, and one of them decided why not have a play about it. So he wrote a quick scenario. When they both went back and went to the troops, they showed them that, and that's when the play was written. And at first, it started in a 50 audience theater. That's real small, and it got real successful. Then it increased to a 100 theater, 100 seat theater. Eventually, this play toured around the country, and some people got affected by the vignettes and actually left. And eventually, members of the airline business went to visit to see the play, and they really enjoyed it. When it was over, the theater troupe decided to make a movie out of it. So that is when the tour was over. Um, so they rented a theater because they wanted to make it the way it was as a theater play. And they were going to use digital cameras, and somebody thought, why not shoot it in 3D? So that the intimacy could be a lot as good as it was in the theater version, in the film. And they got funding for that native 3D process. And as I said before so many times, the purpose of 3D is not just throwing things at the camera, but to portray a simulation of real life, a theatrical and live performance, so that the audiences can get closer. This movie was shot in a week in a theater with an audience. Obviously, they were very quiet because there was nobody clapping or getting excited or anything like that. And since the transcripts didn't mention the sexes, or what colors of skin of the people were, genders, they hired women actors to play the male pilots or female pilots. Now, in this movie, you see all these actors playing different jobs. The flight attendants, they used to be called the stewardesses, and later on men began to work in there. They call them steward. They all decided to change it to the word flight attendant to make it fair. And then you have associates for the airplane pilots. What do you call it? Assistant pilots, assistant technicians in it. And it's so abstract in this picture, but it's so real. Now, the incidences. Now, this focus is 6 incidences. The first one that happened East Grange, Connecticut, flight 1572, American Airlines, November 12, 1995, Roland, Indiana. Simon Airlines. DBA, American Eagle Flight 1482, October 31st, 1994. AE, Raporov Airlines. Boeing 757, Lima, Peru, October the 2nd, 1996. United States Air Force, Euclid 27 at Emmenorf, Alaska, November 22nd, 1995. Japan Airlines 123 at Mount Tsutaka, happening at August 12th, 1995. United Airlines Flight 232 at Sioux Gateway Airport at Sioux City, Iowa, July 19th, 1989. Now it comes with a little booklet that explains the glossary terms of flight language and explains all the 6 disasters. And also part of the menu on the DVD is the actual pilot that survived the crash in Sioux City, Iowa, and he's talking to an audience in 1991, and it is far worser than what was being portrayed in the movie or the play. They show a slide where the medical emergencies are rescuing him and his crew, and they're in the midst of the rubble. It is very disgusting. It includes a film of the actual airplane being crashed, and I'm surprised anybody survived that, even though it's 1991 back then. Now the disc also comes from now the disc also comes with a clip from the 2004 play in the Japanese flight situation. It also comes with a clip from another play version shot in Japan of the Japanese flight situation. Also in the clips, and this is disc number 2 in the anaglyph version, The clips includes a scene from PBS where they interview the theater troupe and about the play they wrote and about the play. It looks like the two actors in the film version look a little bit younger. And then they also show another clip from PBS in which a bunch of medical emergency people took advantage of the play they saw and decided they would do for an exercise in medical disaster to reduce the effects in a medical reduce the death rates in medical emergencies. What I didn't like about it is that when they made the anaglyph version, I suspect that the producers turned the color down for some reason, making it more black and white, preventing you from seeing the color photography through the anaglyph, which it doesn't distort it that much. You can see the oranges and the yellows and many other colors like you see in the Polaroid. It may be a little change in tint, but that's it. But it means that for those of you who don't have the Polaroid equipment, you're going to have to look at it again in 2D and see the color. Now I'm going to explain to you about the book it came with, and this is it. This is it. This is it. And in it comes glossary terms. Now I'll read you a little bit of it. FA, flight attendant. FAPA, flight attendant cabinet announcement. FAINT, flight attendant intercom. CAP, captain. FO, first officer. FE, flight engineer. ATC, air traffic controller. OPS, airline operation. YOK, Yokata, AFB, ATC. JAL, Japanese airline operation. TOW, air traffic controller. SAM, UAL service and maintenance. And here's another glossary terms, CARS. CARS, the cockpit information system used to convey the flight scheduling and passenger information to plane in flight. Flight director, computer system which indicates autopilot their director to a crew member flying the aircraft. Hydraulics, a system of moving the control surfaces of an airplane using hydraulic fluid pressure. ILS, bores and localizers, radio beams based on transmission that the guide an airplane to a runway, airport, navigation waypoint. Rotate, lifts the aircraft nose off the runway during takeoff. Rudder rate ratio, control amount of rudder applied as speed varies. SAM, systems and maintenance department. Shakers, sounds like the thing that they use in DC, and this is Cinerama. Shaker, a mechanical device which simulates the physical feedback a pilot might get from a smaller aircraft control as it approaches stall speed. V1, V2. V1 is a takeoff decision speed. If the engineer if an engineer failure occurs below the speed, you abort or reject the takeoff. If it occurs above the speed, you continue the takeoff. V2. V2 is a takeoff safety speed. This minimum speed must be reached before the aircraft reaches 35 feet above the takeoff surface with one engine inoperative. Now, I want to read to you one of the incidences, the incidents that happened in Japan. And it's the Japan Airline Flight 123, Boeing 747 SR-46, Mount Osutaka, Japan, August 12, 1985. Injuries, 520 fatals, 4 survivors. Pilot, Sam Zuckerman. First officer, Nora Woodley. Flight attendant, Noel Deneen, Pursuer Flight Attendant Debbie Troshi, ACC Patrick Daniels, APC Com Irving Gregory, Tokoto Approach Robert Berger. Flight 2023, already read that. According to www.aviationsafety.net, JAL Flight 123 took off from Tokyo Haneda 1812 hours for a flight to Osaka at 1824 hours while climbing through 239,000 feet of a speed of 300 kts. An unusual vibration occurred, an impact raising the nose of the air flight control problems were experienced. 2 minutes later, hydraulic pressures had dropped in ailerons, and elevators and yaw dumpers became inoperative, followed by a Dutch roll and a phugoid oscillation, unusual movement in which altitude speed changed significantly in a 20 to 100-second cycle without the change of angle of attack. The aircraft started to descend 6,600 feet while the crew tried to control the aircraft by using the engine thrust. Upon reaching 6,600 feet, the airspeed had dropped to 108 kts. The aircraft then climbed with a 39 DEG angle of attack to a maximum approximately 13400 feet and started to descend again. JAL 123 finally brushed against the tree cover ridge, continued and struck another ridge, bursting into flames. Probable cause: deterioration of the flight characteristics and loss of primary flight controls due to the rupture of the pressure bulkheads with subsequent ruptures of the tail, vertical fins, and hydraulic flight control system. The reason for the aft pressure bulkheads ruptures was that the strength was reduced by fatigue cracks propagating in the spliced portions of the bulkhead's web. The initiation of propagation of fatigue cracks attributed to an improper repair, that means they didn't fix it right, of the bulkheads conducted in 1978. Since the fatigue cracks were not found in the later maintenance inspection, it contributed to the incidents. Now here is a letter that the Air Force gave to the theater for thanking them for allowing them to use the play as a part of training for their pilots to reduce accidents. This play was also given to the Marines. I think it said Marines. I read it again. Not that the Marines could use it, but the Navy was given the play so they can practice the things to prevent disasters. Now, if you see this, if you decide to get this movie and see it, it's like going to school. It seems like this movie is more education than entertainment. In fact, reading this book is like going to school and studying and all that. I don't know, it's a good picture and it's made in native 3D, but let's face it, I've seen 2D movies about disasters and fiction and character development and all that, and was less education. I'd have to say this is more semi-documentary then. Well, if you did like this show, and I hope you did, please comment, like, and subscribe if you want to. If you want to criticize me or say something ugly about it, go ahead. I can take it. I won't blurt it out. Bye.